everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today I have with us is an actor. He has several roles going on right now. The first one is called His Name is Jason, which is a Friday the 13th fan film. Listen, I got the Jason shirt on, rocking it tonight. And then he has another one, Return to Death Park, as part of the Death Park series. And the final one is this is one that I'm interested because I'm a Halloween fan, and it is a Halloween Ends prequel fan film. I have with us Dominic St. Clair. Dominic, welcome to the horror realm.
What's going on?
Pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. So listen,
Yep.
I'm going to shoot into since I'm a huge Halloween fan. I want to hear about this Halloween Ends prequel fan film.
hmm Yeah. So this is one I'm currently shooting as an actor, and I kind of help out on the set with the flashlight, and also with just holding on to the camera. Just doing some crew stuff on the side as well. But mostly, I just do the acting stuff. Um, but for this one, this is a prequel to Halloween Ends. And this fan film is a prequel to Halloween Ends, and it involves uh, I think new type of characters that I don't think we have seen before, but they're getting introduced in this fan film, and I play one of the evil characters, I guess you can say the bullies or whatever you want to say, um, and they're kind of reminiscent to the bullies in Halloween Ends, but they're more like punk rocker like type of characters, and um, they like to drink a lot of beer, do all these crazy things, but they're also a bunch of a-holes, excuse my French.
Yeah,
um,
you can say it on the channel. Yes.
okay. So yeah, they're not really nice people, and I play one of the bad guys in it, and Michael Myers is coming to slay away as he usually does. As Michael Myers, being
Mhm.
this being a stalker, being a killer, doing what he does it in this fan film as well. So um, uh, that's pretty much how I can share about the fan film. I can if I want, I can go more into it, but I had to make sure that uh, Frank, because Frank's the director, he's very particular with releasing a lot of information. So I'm just releasing certain information that I feel is good to release, that I feel is proper, that I can share.
But so it's interesting that Frank did a prequel to Halloween Ends because there's a 4 year lapse in between Kills and Ends, and like I think a lot of people were wondering what the fuck was Jason doing in those 4 years, and they really don't talk about it in Halloween Ends.
hmm Well, in this prequel, it's kind of explained. So I don't want to get too much into it because it is spoiler territory. Because I know people who are watching are probably like, "Oh man, but I want to see it," for the first
Mhm.
time. And so I'll just say this: it's definitely going to explain what Mike has been doing for the past, or in between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, for sure.
And that's something that Halloween Ends didn't do a great job of explaining. N-
Yeah.
now, I wasn't a huge fan, which a lot of people of Halloween Ends. I think that 2018 Halloween definitely set it up for this being a great trilogy. I like Kills. I know Kills got a mixed bag when it comes to reviews and people's opinion. Ends was definitely a huge letdown for me because I just felt like to be the final chapter in a trilogy and to introduce all these new characters and all these elements and at that last chapter I thought it was kind of odd.
Yeah, I think that what they did with Halloween Ends was out of place for a trilogy that they were trying to make, because it felt like something that could have just been a whole like spin-off, or a new story, you know. Um and I was talking to Frank about it when we were shooting this Halloween Ends fan film. He was like, "Yeah, dude, like Halloween Ends feels more like an anthology like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch because it's focusing on Corey Cunningham,
Mhm.
which becomes the new Michael Myers, if you want to say, and kind of wants, passes the torch in a way. Um, and so I think that they definitely dropped the ball on that in terms of changing it up like that. But at the end of the day, I liked it. I'm one of those few people who liked it because I did get a satisfaction from Michael and Laurie fighting. Um, Even though it's not what a lot of people would expect from the fighting for the finale of the fight, but like I expected it to be that way because they're two older people that are just trying to kick each other's asses, just
Yeah.
just just like trying to beat each other up, and they're doing a a very slow but um uh steady job at doing that, and I think that fits perfectly for the final battle with Laurie and Michael in that movie. But I think they did drop the ball with just adding in Corey Cunningham late in this movie, and for this movie, and I think hopefully this Halloween Ends fan film will explain, and it definitely will. Like I said, it definitely will explain. It explains what Michael's been doing for the in between the two movies that we saw in within the trilogy. So um yeah, I just think that hopefully when we finish shooting it, Frank, when he edits it together, it looks good and it's proper, and it would release pretty soon, hopefully. I'll give you I can always update on my Instagram or my Facebook when the the release date's coming out, and Frank will also do the same.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm a huge Halloween fan. Now, I'm pretty sure you're a huge Halloween fan too. What is it like an actor to be, even though it's a fan film, to be in a Halloween movie and, have Michael Myers walking around?
Oh, dude, it's actually not that scary to me. Not because I'm not scared of Michael Myers. It's because I know the actor who plays Michael Myers in this fan film. I'll tell you a little story. There's a sewer scene in this film, and there is a shot where I'll give this away a little bit, but I won't give away too much because I'm trying to stay on steady ground with Frank. um, but there is a shot where Michael is standing in the sewer, on the edge of the sewer, and it's dark, and then there's some light, and the light is covering half of his face and half of his body, and you only see half of his face, half of his body, and you see shadow all over his other half. And me and Frank are going up to him, to Michael Myers, and the sewer's the entrance is small, and you can't really fit through. And the guy's a big guy, right? So he's a big guy. So I'm trying to squeeze through, or squeeze in between the sewer entrance and Michael Myers, you know.
What?
And so I'm over here trying to go through the squeeze through the sewer and Michael Myers, and as I'm doing that, I'm struggling, but I'm looking at him and I'm like, dang, this is surreal, at the same time. And but I was able to make it behind him, and I had my flashlight to light the scene and all that stuff, or it was Frank's flashlight. So I used Frank's flashlight to light the scene and all that, and he had his flashlight on his camera, and we were behind Michael Myers, and then also in front of him when we were doing the scenes of him standing in the sewer. So it was surreal, but it was cool to be around Michael Myers. To experience that uh, the sort of the evil entity that we see in these movies. He's and I always thought it was pretty cool to be able to be around this character. And by the way, I'm Michael's my number two. My number one is Jason. So Jason's my
Uh,
number one horror icon that I love, and Michael is a close second. So I do like Michael the second most.
Now, speaking of Jason, you're also in a fan film, which is called His Name is Jason, and that's going to be out soon. Or I think it's already out.
It's already out. Yep.
It's already out. Now, my favorite is Freddy, followed by Michael Myers. I would love to have been in some kind of Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Tell us a little bit about His Name is Jason. Tell us a little bit about your character in that film.
Yeah. So and his name is Jason. It's about it takes place after the Friday 13th reboot with Jared Padalecki. Jared
Hmm.
Padalecki, he stars in it. He's one of the Winchester brothers from Supernatural. So this is a direct sequel that takes place after the events of that movie, and it shows Jason um, pretty much killing another group of people, that are coming into the camp. Um, and Tommy Jarvis, who's well known in the main movies, is in this reboot form. So he's in the fan film, but in a reboot form where he's more of a he's kind of like a stoner type of character, but he's also kind of straight edge at the same time. Um, so he's coming down to Camp Crystal Lake to explore the camp, and he's meeting these people that are around the camp that end up getting killed in the movie. I'm one of those people that get killed in the movie, and I play a character that is a stoner type of character, but is also like a kind of redneck, you know, uh, type of character, kind of like the character from the reboot that was also like a stoner farmer, redneck type of guy.
Hmm.
And so I kind of play that farmer, redneck, stoner type of guy in this fan film, and we got some funny bits in it um, from that character, and we shot that in like one day. Not the fan film, but like the one day shoot for my scenes, and I have a crowbar. I got a joint in my mouth. I'm ready to like light it. And then Jason pops up and he ruins my day. And I come to try to beat him up with the crowbar, and he gets his machete out, and then just slices my throat with the machete, just like he did the last farmer in the reboot. So I ended up having latex and blood on my neck, and I had blood in my mouth that I spit it out, and I kind of spit it onto the camera, like two drops of blood, like spit onto the camera, because I'm supposed to be choking to death, or I'm supposed to be bleeding to death, but also choking at the same time. So I'm like trying to gasp for air, and I end up just falling down and slowly falling down and trying to breathe, and then I fall to my death, and then he does the infamous part three move where he takes the machete and he starts whacking me three times when I'm down,
Oh,
just like he did to the one of the
yeah.
bikers that was
Mhm.
still alive in that movie. And I was twitching, and every time he hit me with the machete, I felt the impact, and my arm moved like this, like, and so it was fun time. It was fun time to be on the set of a fan film that's Friday 13th and has something to do with Jason, because that was a fun shoot. I got to experience being in front of Jason, and facing
Mhm.
off with Jason too with the crowbar.
I get a lot of shit because I tell everyone that my favorite Friday the 13th movie is the reboot. Um,
Mhm.
I love that Jason. Last name is Mayers. I can't think his first name, but I think he's an intimidating fucking hunting like predator Jason, and I absolutely love that form of Jason. I kind of wish that there was a sequel to that, so I'm glad there is. But so I have a question, Dominic. What is it like as an actor to get into the mindset and a role of a kill scene? Like, how do you imitate, okay, what it's going to be like struggling to breathe? What it's going to be like twitching?
It comes from just thinking about it. because I when I think about it and I look at like death scenes in movies, I imitate that. I like to imitate that because what it does is like it whether the death is real or not, that obviously the death scenes are fake because it's movies, but like I look at that and I imitate it and I also put a spin on it where I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to breathe while I'm bleeding out, and like I'm like, "Ugh," like I'm trying to breathe at the same time while I'm bleeding out. That's kind of something I kind of came up with on my own because I thought if someone were to slice someone's throat and slice their jugular, they would have a hard time breathing, you know.
Understood.
And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll try to I'm gonna try to breathe towards the end as I'm bleeding out, and then when it comes to the twitching and the impact of the hit of the machete, it's just reaction. It's all about reaction. So it's like when he hits me with the machete, I move an arm, like this or like that, and so it's all about just understanding what you want to do in the scene and how you want to react, pretty much, and so that's kind of like how I think about it is that I look at movies like I said that have death scenes in it and I imitate it, but I also put my little own spin to it that I think of off the fly, and then I do the reactions as he hits me, um, uh, with the machete, and so that's also something I come up with the fly is the reaction of my arm going up like that, like kind of twitching. So, so yeah, it's all about reaction for me. Yeah.
And I agree with you. I never cut anybody's throat with a machete, but you would. I mean, working in the death care industry, you would be struggling to breathe, And because I hate when I see a horror movie and somebody get their throat slit and it's just they fall down. No, you're going to be struggling to breathe. You're going to be twitching. You're going to be kicking. Put some energy into that acting, into that kill.
Yeah. Um, I I don't judge actors' performances. Um, in terms of like what they do, I like the way like they do it because that's their own take on it. But I just do what I felt like is right and what I want to do, and that's what I did with this kill scene. And I don't shame the other actors that do it some other way. I think it is what it is. It's done. They shot it. It's done. I try to put my best to perform a cool kill scene or death scene. So that's just me personally. And I got some people who say they like that scene and they like the death scene and they enjoyed my reactions and my acting and all that stuff. And I'm very humble when I say this. Like I all I say is I try my best. That's all I can do. So yeah.
And that's all you can do. Now, I have acted in a couple of indie horror movies myself.
Mhm.
Dominic, the toughest part is remembering lines, especially if you're getting several at one time. What are some keys that you use that, some individuals who are watching, they want to break into indie horror or just indie cinema in general? What are some keys that you do to remember lines and even add your own little pizzazz to?
Yeah, so what I do is I read the lines over and over again. I I what I do is I look at the lines, I read them. First I go through them and I read the whole my whole lines as the lines of the character that I'm reading off of, and then I go back and I look at it and I start reading it over and over again until I get it implanted in my head, and then I go back and then I read the second line that I have, read it over and over and over again, and try to implant that into my head as the second piece of dialogue that's going to come after the first dialogue that or the first thing I say. Then I go in and read the next line that I have, and usually these are short. These lines that I have, especially in these fan films, and also in Return to Death Park, they're short lines, like dialogue, short dialogue and scene. So I was lucky enough to um, be able to read through these dialogue and read through these scenes quite quick because they're shorter. Um, so if you're just starting out as an actor in anything, like especially for indie horror or indie film, start doing short films. Start acting in short films, because what that does, it helps you gain the confidence and the ability to read lines, memorize them, and perform as if you're just saying these lines, and you didn't like premeditated like reading them. So I just think that it's all about starting off doing shorter films, like these ones. Like His Name is Jason is like 20 something minutes. Probably the same thing with this Halloween Ends fan film. And lucky enough for Return to Death Park, I play a small role in it, so I didn't have that many lines. So it's all about just starting out, like having smaller lines, smaller piece of dialogues, and work your way up. Just work your way up and try to memorize as much as you can, because that's how you grow as an actor, and that's how you grow as a memorizer too, when it comes to trying to memorize your lines and perform at the same time, you know. So that's what I do. I always read first, and then I go back to the top and then read over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, and then implant it in my brain and keep it there as long as I can. Just keep thinking about it. Just keep thinking about it, because that's what's gonna keep it in your head and you say it on camera. So that's just my advice on that. Yeah.
Now, now you're playing a stoner. You're playing an asshole. You're playing an asshole in one movie, and you're playing a stoner and a redneck stoner in another film.
Hmm.
I had the privilege of being an asshole in one film, and people ask me like, just I'm a nice guy for the most part, and like, but to be an asshole, like I remember I jumped into, I was like, well, how am I going to be an asshole? And I remember this guy I grew up with named Ryan. I'm not gonna say his last name, and it was the biggest fucking douchebag asshole you got ever meet. And I just pretended like I was him. I literally did everything was him, and it just came off as natural. Is that something that you did? Because you seem like a nice guy. When you got in the role to be an asshole, was there somebody that you visualize in your mind and be like, okay, how would this person say this or do this?
So I take it from people that bullied me and were assholes to me in like back in school, um, back in when I was younger, and also I know I got a sense of being a little witty and a little smart ass myself, um, but overall I'm generally a nice guy. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. If you're chill, I'm chill. It's vice versa. It's just be cool with me, I'm cool with you. Um, I I this when I take the bully aspect, or take the asshole aspect into the acting part and try to perform as that type of person, what I take from is, like I said, from bullies of my past and assholes of my past, but also watching like other films and looking at assholes in those films and seeing how they perform too, and seeing how I can take something from them, not completely rip it off, but to take something from them and add my own spin to it as well. So that also is the thing I implement into this type of character for this Halloween Ends fan film, is stuff I watch on a film, or watch it from a film, and stuff from my past experience. Being uh, bullied or humiliated, or being treated like shit. pretty much. So that's kind of where I get that, and it culminates into one thing, like one thing, and so that's what I get it from, and that's how I perform and execute is just making it my own in a way. But that's kind of how I do it, you know.
Now, Dominic, you got one last film I want to talk about that you're in, and this is part of a series, The Return to Death Park. Tell us a little bit about Return to Death Park and tell us a little bit about your part.
Yeah, so Return to Death Park is a third entry to a series called Death Park. It's a slasher series or franchise, and it's all indie. It's all straight indie. So I know not a lot of people might not know of it, but there's some people who do, and
Mhm.
I like to spread the word of it because it's not just because I'm in it, but it's actually a series that I like because we barely get slashers in a park. you
Yes,
know,
sir.
like park could be close to a forest, but like a park is a park. It's if it's a park, it's its own thing, and I like the way the slasher setting is set there. But for Return to Death Park, this third entry in this franchise or this series, I play as a little photographer in the film. I won't give too much away because the film's not out yet. Um, there's actually a premiere happening in December in LA, and I can get into that if you want towards the end of the show. Um, I yeah, just play a photographer in there, and all I can say is there's gonna be Carnage Candy. If you like Carnage Candy in the slasher film, this is your film. Return to Death Park. This is that film.
Awesome. Listen, Dominic, you just gave me a whole bunch of new movies. That's going to be on my radar and one that I need to check out. By the way, how can everyone find His Name is Jason? Is that streaming on YouTube or?
It's on YouTube. It's free to watch. His name is Jason, a Friday 13th fan film. It's currently sitting at 3 point something K views at the moment. It's doing pretty well. And uh, I've been kind of promoting it a little bit, but I definitely want to say that everyone should definitely check it out if you're a Friday 13th fan, if you're a Jason fan, or if you're a fan of the reboot of Friday 13th. You definitely need to check this film out because it definitely will. I think it will satisfy your needs for a sequel for the reboot.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna find the link, and the link is gonna be down in the description to His Name is Jason. So definitely click it out, click on it, share it, and definitely give us some support. Now, Dominic, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, so everyone can find me on Instagram. The name is dominic.st clair.80. And my Facebook is simply Dominic St. Clair. So it's my actual full name. And from there, you can find me. You can add me, follow me on Instagram, add me as a friend on Facebook, and we can start chatting. Because I'm definitely going to be. I want to help other actors, and I want to help other inspiring actors get their start in film because someone did the same thing for me, and I feel like I should pass it, or what do they call it?
Pass it on.
Pass it on, or pass
Yeah,
it
there's a
forward.
term for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a term
Pay
for
it
it.
forward. Pay it forward. Pay
Pay
it
it
forward.
forward. Yeah,
Yes.
pay it forward. So I like to pay it forward. If you're an actor, an aspiring actor, always come and reach out to me on Facebook and my Instagram because I definitely would like to hook everyone up with people that do films and are looking for some work or looking for something to do. So and I also post on there those two social medias as well, and I post what I'm doing as an actor, but also I do some personal posts sometimes, as well. But usually I'll be posting acting stuff and updates on like what I'm doing as an actor.
Awesome, man. Listen. Dominic, keep up the good work. Everybody, please look out for Return to Death Park. And by the way, check out the other Death Park series, like I haven't, so I'm going to check them out as well.
Yeah.
And also look out for the Halloween Ends prequel.
Yeah, and the if you guys want to know the Death Park movies are called, the first one's called Death Park: The Beginning, and the second one's called Death Park: The End. It's on Tubi, so you can watch it for free on Tubi. And check those movies out first before you watch Return to Death Park, because it is a continuation of those two movies.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be checking them out. I'm going to give them some hype as well because I never heard of them. So, here's a big thing.
Yeah.
Dominic, it's been a blast having you on, man.
Thank you, man. It was fun to be here and fun talking to you, and it's cool to have this conversation, man. Because more people need to come on the channel, man, and have these conversations. Because you're a great host and a great interviewer, and you have some really good guests on here. So thank you. I'm honored.
Thank you, Dom. Listen, everyone, thank you for coming to another edition of the Horror Realm. By the way, go in the description. Once again, his name is Jason. Click on that link and check it out. And also share it around so you can definitely get some views on that bad boy. I'm Travis Bruce, and that's my man, Dominic St. Clair. We'll see you next time. Take care.